Now let's talk about polyphonic voicing. We're going to learn how to decide when to use polyphonic voicing, how to set it up, automatically converting your score to polyphonic voicing, and how to enter and move into voices. Take a look at my example. The first bar should have a tied F looking like a whole note with rests in between the A's. Stems should be going up on these notes for this bar, and we should have a split staff here. Double-click before the staff and open the staff setting window. Now go to the Polyphonic tab. You can change this staff to a simple piano split, but we want to have greater control by choosing Polyphonic here. This allows us to have 8 voices that you can turn on or off for the treble and bass clef. You can have 4 in the treble clef and 4 in the bass. Generally, these default settings are all you need. We want an upper and lower in each clef. 2 in the treble clef and 2 in the bass. MIDI channels can be assigned if you're using any as a MIDI output. Normally you wouldn't use this as it can lead to confusion, but if you are keeping track of your MIDI, it's great for arranging quickly. Q means that the notes are visually smaller, like Q notes. You can decide if you want to show rests for this voice and if they are centered. Reduce rest is ideal for Q notes in that if there are many bars of rests, the rest won't be shown. And you can decide whether the stems should be up or down. Like I said, the defaults should be fine. We can change them if we need to afterwards. Let's just hit apply. You may get a dialog that says some notes will not belong to any voice and may be hidden. Correct these notes? Choose correct. In our case, we didn't see that here, but you might see it. Let's talk about what just happened. Click on the treble clef. See how it says 1 and 2 up here? When you click on the bass clef, see how it says 5 and 6? These are the voices we just created. Our notes are still on voice number 1. Just click them and see. Voice number 1 selected. Still selected. And all the way through. Now let's move them to different voices. There are a couple of ways to do this. Let's grab the F note and select Move to Voice 2 from the Score's Move to Voice submenu. See how the F is on voice 2 now? And the A's are on voice 1 still? It looks nicer already. Now let's do bar 2 in a differently. Select the notes we want, hold down the Control key, and click on voice 2. I'm holding down the Shift key to select the notes that I want. Now I'm going to hold down Control and click on voice number 2. It's amazingly fast and quick, and looks great in a second. Or we can use the Explode method. Choose Explode from the Global Function submenu from the Scores menu. Make sure to Polyphonic Voices is clicked, because we don't want to create any new tracks. And the only one I'm going to pick here is Lines to Tracks. Alright, click OK. And now we see that these ones have moved to voice number 2. And these ones have stayed on voice number 1. That still might not be the way we want to see it. I want to take this even further, take all these notes, except this one, let's hold down Shift. and move them to voice 5, which will be in our bass clef. So let's do that. Now in the staff settings, we chose automatic for the stem direction in voice 5. We can change this to up if we were writing a tenor line. Let's double click here, choose polyphonic, go to voice number 5, and the stem direction up or down, instead of auto, let's say up, and hit apply. Let's close this, and there we have it. You may get a situation where you need to cross voices. Let's go to the staff settings, change it to polyphonic, choose optimize to voices in the presets, click apply and then close. Now choose Explode and make sure Lines to Voices is the only one selected. These voices still aren't crossing, so move these top notes into voice 2 and these bottom notes into voice 1. It looks a bit bunched up, so take your graphic move tool and change the appearance of the top 2/8 notes. This is only changing it graphically. The notes are still perfectly in time. By the way, you can change any note you want and flip the stems using this button here to make things look right without having to go into the polyphonic settings window. You can also double click on a note and make it look like anything you want. There's lots of options here.